Hey guys, as some of you may know, I've been doing vertical jump programs for the last 2 years. My best running vert in that time has gone from 24 inches to 29 inches. This year, 2021, I would like to start getting into the 30s and grabbing the rim. It is finally time for me to create my own custom jump program. I've read about a dozen vertical jump programs. Some of them I've paid for, some of them are free, and some of them you guys have sent me. I want to take the best bits of each of those and create a program that's going to work for me. The layout I've chosen is similar to Vert Code Elite, where each training block is 4 weeks long and there's a 1 or 2 day deload. I find that when I write a workout, I try it out and I end up tweaking things like exercise order, so I'll be sharing a video after each training block is completed. Okay, so here we go. Month 1. I'll stop short of calling it phase 1. There's a link below to the spreadsheet. If you want a copy, you can either make a copy, or if you don't have Gmail, you can download it as an Excel sheet. I've included a tab with the month I'm on now, but bear in mind that's going to be a work in progress. I have quite busy weekends, so I've chosen to put all 4 sessions Monday to Friday with a break in the middle. And on Sundays, I do about 20 minutes of mobility work. There's no upper body because I do calisthenics, and that's completely separate from jumping. So the original plan was actually to follow Freak Jump Technique 3, which someone was kind enough to send me. That's entirely focused on technique, and it's basically a jump technique template that you add to your other training. That was exactly what I was looking for, but having read through it all, it was going to be a huge time investment, so I've had to do a fraction of the program alongside my own training. So Monday starts with a dynamic warm-up lifted straight from Freak Jump Technique 3, and this is how every session starts. There's 8 drills you do for 30 meters, things like skipping, carryover, walking lunges, then a few bodyweight squats and lunges, finishing with donkey kicks and fire hydrants. I added in a few extras I like to do as part of any warm-up I do. Crossband walks for the glutes, for my adductors, Copenhagen planks, and lateral leg swings. I pulled my adductor last summer, so I'm cautious about making sure it's ready to go. After the warm-up, I do a few drills. First, I do sets of dorsi and plantar flexion with a resistance band. It's not max effort, but you should feel it working and go quite slowly. Then dorsiflexed jumping for 20 seconds, bouncing on the balls of your feet, minimal knee bend, and this is likely to help with vertical stiffness. Those are also from Freak Jump Technique 3. He insists on 2 minutes rest between reps. So rather than wait in those 2 minutes, I squeeze in 60 seconds of straight leg lifts. This is a guy called Kadur Zayani. Someone recommended I check him out. He seems to be all about flexibility. The straight leg lifts are over an object with a height that you can manage, with the goal to get comfortable and then go higher. There's a small circuit for priming your CNS. It's a 10-second RKC plank, so you're trying to pull in with the forearms and toes. Then 4 plyo push-ups, half a dozen lateral bounds with a soft landing, and that's for 3 sets. The final warm-up drill is a broad jump, 5 or 6 of these. I measure them because it's quite nice to see how fresh you are that day. The technical jumping had to be whittled down to 3 drills, and those are all with a 2-step run-up because I'm temporarily without a court and having to use some limited space in a barn. I chose to do 2-step approaches, meaning no takeoff, because they feature in both Freak Jump Technique 3 and Vert Code Elite's technical jumping days. Next is a 2-step pop-up. It's a natural progression from an approach jump, and I do 4 of these per side. And then finally, a full 2-step jump. I do 6 per side with 45 seconds rest. The jumping cues from Freak Jump Technique 3 weren't groundbreaking, no deceleration or forward lean, so the chest is up and the core is tight. He spoke a lot about the rhythm of the jump, so you should hear your foot contact speeding up throughout, and that's what I think about when I jump. I finished this day with 25 reps of Tibialis Raise. I saw this on Knees Over Toes guy's Instagram and wanted to put it somewhere, and this seemed a good place. The further your heels are from the wall, the harder it is, and it's a 2-second isometric with the toes pulled up to the shins, and then 2 seconds rest. This feels like a good setup, and I do the same session Mondays and Thursdays. It's about 75 minutes, and a lot of that is just preparing the body for jumping. If I were to change anything, I could probably increase the reps of the 3 jumping drills, and obviously, if space allowed, I'd try with a longer run-up to practice carrying more speed. Moving on to Tuesday and Friday sessions, these are more about weights and plyometrics. They're almost the same, so I'll talk you through both at once. After the dynamic warm-up, I go straight into some counter movement jumps. I do up to 10, but usually stop about 8. Two new coaching points I've picked up are to do a few practice arm swings before the jump and to shake the legs out between reps. Over the 4 weeks, my standing vert increased from 60 to 62 centimeters, which isn't too far off my PB. Next up is the Patrick step up. This is for the VMO, the kind of second knee muscle that is often neglected. This is again straight from knees over toes guy, and I'm slowly adding weight each session. Another of his exercises is the arse to grass split squat. I put my front foot on a platform, and again this is something where I'm slowly adding weight each week, but not getting carried away, and my back knee still ends up bending quite a bit. On Tuesdays, it's then 3 sets of front squats, not super heavy. If it's good enough for Isaiah Rivera, it's good enough for me. I read in the literature that two-footed jumping relies a lot more on quadricep strength, and front squats are great for that, as well as strengthening your core. I used to do this huge core workout called Ab Ripper X, and I remember after a few weeks my front squat jumped from 90 to 110, so I might dig that out and put it in at some point. On the Friday session, instead of front squats, it's power cleans. Again, Isaiah does these, and from the literature, a power clean, high pull, or even a weighted jump was found to be beneficial for jump height. My technique is crap. Prior to lockdown, I was planning to go on an Olympic lifting course to get some basic competence. I switched to a hook grip, and that's helped a bit, so it's something I'll have to refine a little each week. For the hamstrings, I do Nordic hamstring curls. In Vert Code Elite, he was building up to these, and knees over toes guy does them too, so they stay in. I use a band and try to take 4 seconds on the descent and push myself gently on the way up so my legs have to work both directions. Last but not least, some Achilles work. I had quite a few options here, but I love the burn from this one, which is from Vert Code Elite. Who knows if a burn is what you should be chasing, but it's single leg hops straight into 2 up, 1 down eccentric calf lowers. 2 sets per leg. I love lifting weights, so this is of course my favourite session. Once I've got the arse to grass split squat to a certain weight, I will drop a set of those and use it more for maintenance. It's always tempting to cram in every good exercise you know, but I will have to rotate some of the primary lifts on a monthly or 2-monthly basis. With regards to month 2, I already know that the countermovement jumps will progress to depth jumps, but otherwise a lot will stay the same. A quick word about the Sunday session. It's things like terminal knee extension, flexion gapping, a wonderful calf stretch with a rope, and a few others, all from Kelly Starrett's Supple Leopard book. I tried about 20 from his book and found 7 stretches that really help with the areas I'm tight, so you shouldn't necessarily copy my stretches, or even my program for that matter. Things like Nordic hamstring curls are quite advanced. You might need to start with easier exercises like Swiss ball hamstring curls or glute marches, so don't rush out and copy me. I'll leave you with a few thoughts/questions. My weakness is definitely long-term planning. I can put a nice 4-week cycle together, but I struggle to string them into something like a 16-week plan with clear progressions. I'd like to know what exercises you guys would include, or even ones you'd take out. I want to do some sort of tuck jump or repeat hurdle jump, probably the former, as well as depth jumps. I feel like jump volume could be higher. I don't play basketball or volleyball, but if I did, I'm sure there would be dozens of jumps and not just 6 max efforts on each side. I will get to a court as soon as possible and measure my running vert. I was hovering at 72 centimeters before Christmas, so I'm happy to consider that my pre-program baseline. It's currently snowing, so it won't be this week. I'm filming this having done 3 weeks of month 2, so expect another video soon. Thanks for watching, guys.